welcome. This is Evan Shapiro, and this is Music Made Real. I'm talking with Gary Backstrom today, and welcome, Gary. This is the second show that I'm doing here, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. So, can you tell us a little bit about your main band? I know you've got a few different bands going on, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about your main band.
Absolutely. If you hear dogs howling in the background, it'll stop.
Okay, great. That's not part of the music then.
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
When the train goes by, all the dogs in the neighborhood howl at the simultaneously. I'll hear it. I think they think it's a big coyote. So my main group. So to give a little history, I was in a band called Jiggle the Handle, and we toured nationally for about like 13 years. And when that ended, I thought I just wanted to play under my own name, because band members come and go, as you know, and sometimes it makes it hard if you have a democratic band, right, where everyone's contributing equally. It's hard to make decisions when people leave. People don't feel right about keeping the name. So I felt a little weird about using the name Jiggle the Handle, and I thought, instead of coming up with a new band name, I just want to play under my own name, like artists like Santana do, or Stevie Wonder or whoever, where sure they have a very high turnover in band members sometimes. That, and that doesn't mean that they're changing their product or the music they're doing. It's just they have people come and go. So I've had the pleasure of playing with a lot of great musicians from probably 2005 to now under the name Gary Backstrom Band. And normally I just did it as a 4-piece guitar, bass, keys, and drums, doing some of the material from Jiggle the Handle, and I've been writing new material along the way. But then about 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to expand the band. I've always wanted to have a large band with bass, drums, guitar, keyboards, horns, backup singers, and percussion. So I thought, let's do that now. Just like, why wait any longer? Sometimes you want a certain car and you keep putting off buying it, or you want a certain drum set or guitar. In this case, I thought, this is really what I want to do for a band. So I did a test show at a outdoor performance in Onset, Massachusetts, with the 8-piece group, just to see how it would go. I got all the people involved, and I thought maybe they'll help me get this off the ground, and then if they don't want to do it, at least I've got a model I can go with, right, and get a recording of it. And if I have to replace band members, so be it. But it turns out that everyone loved it so much that we're all still here, and all 8 of us are still playing together. We just played last night, and it's a really wonderful group of people, like the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Super talented musicians too. It's my favorite incarnation of probably any band I've ever had, because everyone is so good. I don't feel like I have to give very much direction. I just say, here's the songs, kind of go through the parts, and everyone's such great players. I just trust them. I don't spend the whole evening wondering if someone's going to forget the chord changes or, not remember what to do. And when you're in that kind of situation, it makes you worry the whole evening that things are going to fall apart. It's hard to concentrate on singing or playing or talking to the audience, because the entire evening you're worried, is this going to be a train wreck? With this band, that never, ever even crosses my mind. They're just fantastic musicians and great people.
Awesome. Okay, so I was thinking if you could play us a couple songs, and maybe with each song, if you could talk a little bit about what went into creating the song, and maybe you know, like the meaning behind it, whether it's just like personal meaning, or if you want to concentrate more about the actual creation in terms of just like the notes, etc., whatever
Sure.
you think is most relevant. Because I know, at least from my own experiences, there are some songs that do have more personal meaning for me that I create, and then some it's not really about that. It's more just about a riff that is really great in the song or something like that. So just basically what's behind the material. And so why don't we start with one of the songs? You can
Okay,
tell us
sure.
about, you know, tell us the title and
Okay,
what's behind it.
that's a great idea. Brett, so the this first song is called "The Story," and it actually started out in two pieces. One, I I forget. I think I wrote this towards the end of Jiggle the Handle playing. We were touring a lot. I used to write on the. We had a tour bus, and I came up with this little lick that goes. And the chords go on and on. And before I play it, that ended up being a thing that we would use as a motif to improvise on. But there was no song to go with it. We would just stick it in at the end of other songs that happened to be in the same key. And it always got a great round of applause. The solos were blistering, and it was really fun. And then later I wrote sort of a stream of consciousness poem. And while we were driving to do a opening show for the Allman Brothers, I was driving the bus over the George Washington Bridge. We got in a big traffic jam on the way there. I had my notepad, and the whole song just, the melody, the chords popped out. And I didn't marry it to any lyrics until a few weeks later. I looked through the book that I was writing the stream of consciousness poetry in, and I lined the lyrics up from that. So the song got written in 3 sections. When the singing part was done, I realized that it fit perfectly into the jam part that I had written, and I realized that I should put the two together, and that would be the epic ending of the song. So
Awesome. So you want to play it for us?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what the meaning of it is, but that's the story behind it.
Okay. And can you tell us the title again?
Sure, it's called The Story.
Okay. All right, awesome. Go right ahead.
Okay. I stepped into the light, the beginning of my life, with my eyes bloodshot in the morning light. Too much nighttime, too much midnight. Sleep receding like a wave from the shore. I've been flying like a bird down this open road, and I wonder, am I really home? Yes, I wonder, am I really home? By the light of the moon, I find my way down the road that leads us to the day where time is all I'm wasting without you. I've been kicked to the curb with my wheels spinning round like a rolling stone in a one-horse town. I hear the thunder. You know I wish it would rain. 'Cause we all bleed sometimes. I know it's true. Like needle that's stuck in a water groove of your favorite song. Today, once again, beneath the my dreams tonight on the shore beneath the moonlit night, with diamonds all I'm wasting without you. Come to me now with a heart of gold. Wherever you stay and wherever you go, I'll be there. I'll be there. Now as this song plays in my head, I think everyone can hear it as if everybody knew the words to the story of my life. As if they knew the words to the story of my life. As if they knew the words to the story of our lives.
Awesome. That's great, Gary. I love it. And just so people know, we've known each other for a long time. We actually grew up together and were in a band in high school, so it's not
Yeah.
like I've talked with you before.
I know. We had a
Um,
lot of playing together.
yeah, and actually, that band Day One was a great band. I loved that.
I was just thinking about that the other day, actually.
Yeah, we had some great jams.
Yeah.
So how about the second song? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, man. Well, second song is here. I'll do. It's a little detuning, and the verses I have no idea what they're about. The chorus, I wanted to write a song that was celebratory about being alive, and I just heard "Good Day Sunshine" by the Beatles on the radio, and I thought, damn, I wish I came up with that title, because it's just a song that makes you feel really good. So it's the chorus is loosely based off of that idea and feeling. It's called "Good Day," and the lyrics to the chorus are, "It's a good day to be alive." It's a really great song to get the audience to sing the chorus to, because it's really easy. So oftentimes we'll play it and we'll sing part of it and then let the audience sing the second half of it. It's kind of nice. So it's just a song, hopefully, to make you feel like you can celebrate all the good things in your life. And I don't know. I guess that's about it. I think there's some meaning in the verses that I just don't know. So anyway, that goes like this. Under pressure is my middle name. I try to leave it, but my heart's too dead. I am nowhere like I used to be. All the talk about nothing's making something of me, but it's a good day to be alive. Said it's a good day to be alive. Through this window I can breathe again, out of the tunnel that I've been living in. Just to be here is my reason to be. I love it if it stopped pointing your finger at me, but it's a good day to be alive. Said it's a good day to be alive. No one knows you, this I know for sure. I got the feeling like I had before under blue skies. It's my middle name, the picture looks so good I took it out of the frame. It's a good day to be alive. Said it's a good day to be alive. Oh yeah, it's a good day. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive.
Nice. That was awesome.
Apologize. I sang a lot last night and I'm really dry, so my voice is like at half its normal capacity of starting to have this little dry throat issue
Are
happening.
you set up so that you could play a little electric guitar too, like maybe like a solo, or would that
So
be
yeah,
like
I
kind
have
of
the electric
difficult?
guitar here. I don't have any pedals, but I do have. Let's see what I can do. We start by putting this down. Oh yeah, just my guitar. Yep, I just have to get it. I don't know. Let's see if the amp gets picked up.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't, it doesn't, but it's worth a try because I'd like people to be able to hear your soloing on an electric guitar too, because it's amazing.
Thank you, Evan.
Yeah, I can hear that great.
You can hear that?
Yeah, so you can play like a solo of like a song or something,
Yeah, I mean,
or you could play like an original song all the way through if you want.
on the electric.
Up to you.
I think what would lend itself to playing on the electric. The tough thing about playing when you're doing, the band is that once you start soloing up, all the music drops out. And then it's just.
Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't we go with that? Just like playing around with it so people can really hear you play like the electric guitar.
The guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not really a song, but it's just.
Yeah, that's great. So like are you available for session work? Like you're based in Massachusetts, just so people know.
Yeah.
Are you available for session work if somebody sees this and they're like, hey, we need a guitarist on a session?
Sure. Yeah. Yep. I do a lot of that. Do a lot of session work at a few different studios. But yeah, I'm willing to go wherever. That's probably one of my favorite things to do.
What do you like about it?
I like that. Well, when I'm not doing my own material, it's kind of fun because I get to sort of experiment and sort of play in ways that I might not normally play because it's somebody else's music, and it suggests all kinds of ideas. When you're soloing in your own songs, you tend to, I don't want to say always do the same thing, but if maybe you're not as challenged, to come up with it's almost like being an actor. If you're playing on somebody else's stuff, you're in their movie, they're asking you to provide a certain character. So they might say, hey, can you do something like Lindsey Buckingham, or can you do something like Pat Metheny, or I'm looking for a real Keith Richards kind of, they always have ideas of sounds they want. And then it's fun. I like taking direction from producers. I love when someone says, "Can you try to evoke this particular feeling?" And it's a challenge. So it brings up things in me that I might not normally do on my own music, unless I'm writing a song that's sort of different from the songs that I've been normally working on.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like it really kind of expands your horizons.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Sometimes, recently, um, I was hired to do some session work in Rockport, and I got to play a lot more slide guitar than I normally would ever do. And then we ended up doing harmonized slide guitar, which I've done, but not to that extent. So it was really fun to push the limits of that and you know just see where that would go. And I think maybe on my material I wouldn't have done as much of that. I have done a little on a new song that I wrote, but um, this one particular person was just really looking for this southern rock thing, and um, it was cool to be able to play on that because I don't really write a lot of southern rock style music, but it's fun to play. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So what's upcoming? You were mentioning that there's a tribute show coming up.
Right. So right, I'm doing a tribute to probably my favorite songwriter, singer, guitar player, musician all around, Todd Rundgren. Just to me a genius. He's been around forever, still tours constantly and puts out new records every couple of years. Always innovative, fresh, and it's very challenging music to play, really hard, and to sing. Um, we're doing that at the Regent Theater on June 7th with a full 8-piece band. It's the same band I would do my own music with. We're just doing all Todd Rundgren music, spanning his career from solo work to his stuff with the band Utopia. That was his sort of prog rock band, or he did prog rock and new wave, all kinds of different rock styles, and that's a benefit to raise money for Alzheimer's patients. We're raising money to provide Alzheimer's patients with free iPods loaded with whatever kind of music meant a lot to them in their lives when they were lucid. And if you don't know about this, I had some experience, what do you call it, doing volunteer work, playing music for Alzheimer's patients. And they said, these are some songs this person likes. Could you learn them? I said, okay, sure. And then you would go to the patient's hospital room or wherever they were, and they wouldn't have been talking for months, really. They were just seemed like they weren't there. You would play a song, let's say it was an Elvis Presley song or whatever song was very special to them, and they would lift their head, their eyes would open, and they'd start singing. It was the most incredible experience. I just couldn't even believe what I was seeing. So the idea is to raise money for patients to have free iPods with whatever songs were really special to them, because it has a very therapeutic effect on them.
How do people get tickets?
Great question. So tickets for this tribute on June 7th, you can go to the Regent Theater box office or regenttheater.com online, and you can buy them right off of there. It's right on their website. Under upcoming shows, just click on that and it'll send you right to a ticket link. There's a lot of great seats left. If you haven't been to the Regent Theater, have you ever been there in Arlington?
I think like a long time ago.
It's fantastic. There's no bad seats. The sound system is amazing. They have a really new lighting system in there. Free parking across the street. A bazillion great restaurants. It's an early show. It starts at 8. Bring your kids to it if you think they would like it. The music, if you haven't checked out Todd Rundgren and you have Spotify, just put it on Spotify and it will play a whole bunch of his songs. From song to song, the styles change. I can't say it's not like, oh, it's just blues or it's just rock. It's everything from soul and R&B to rock to almost spiritual music to some of it's techno. It's just a hodgepodge of different styles. But one thing I will say is that the writing is just brilliant. I've seen people come to these tributes not knowing any of the music and leaving saying, "Oh, I just bought 6 Todd Rundgren albums because of the music that we heard tonight." So I think pretty much it has something for just about every kind of music lover.
That's excellent. And you had mentioned that you also have a few other musical gigs going on. You want to tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, I have an acoustic duo that I've been doing for, good Lord, 20 years with a friend of mine. His name is Charlie Carrazzo, and we play under the name The Coal Boilers. We are doing a show in Needham, Massachusetts, Evan, where we're both from. Friday, May 24th, I believe. If I look at my calendar, I can share that date up. It's at a place called Three Square, millennial on my phone. Yep, Friday, May 24th at 3 Square from 7 to 10. They also have great food. It's a free show. That group, we do some originals, some covers. It's just a big mix, but that's a very fun group. We've been doing it so long, just me and my friend Charlie, that on a dime we can flip into any song. We have been singing harmonies together forever, so it's just a very nice, really fun, relaxed type of show. But it rocks. It's not like sometimes you say acoustic duo, people think, oh, it's going to be all laid back. It's not. It's very high energy, and I'm not really big into like sleepy musical experiences. I like whatever music I do to be like charged up and like just alive, and rocking. And the other big project I'm involved with falls under 3 titles. But what it is it's a symphony. It's a rock symphony. So the first one is a Billy Joel Elton John tribute. Every other song, Billy Joel Elton John goes back and forth. We call it Piano Men. You can find that at pianomen.org. And we travel around the country playing with 60-piece orchestras. And that is really something special. I still, every time we play, get goosebumps because stand on stage with an orchestra, it's just really, I can't even put it into words. It's really neat.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we do the songs like a rock band would. We sing them and have electric guitars and drums and the whole 9 yards, but we just have a symphony to play with at the same time.
And you're traveling around the country?
Well, what we do with that one, instead of going in a van like I used to with Jiggle, this is nice because we all have kids. So what we do is, say we're playing in California, we'll fly out on a Friday. Saturday, you rehearse the show with the orchestra. They only play through it once. And then at night, that same night, you do the show, and the next day you fly home. It's very cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So you don't have to spend a lot on hotels and stuff like that then.
No, and I don't love being away from my kids for long extended periods of time. So it's nice, and if they're close enough, I can take them.
Mm. And I take it that they cover your travel expenses too, right? Yeah, because that would be so expensive if they did.
We just did a show at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium last Wednesday. It was just really fun. It's a great show. Everyone always has a good time, and we have a classic rock version of the same thing where we play classic rock songs, same band members, and then we just started a It's Beatles solo material. So all of the stuff from the 70s and early 80s. That's the same guys doing that as well. So that's a lot of fun. Get to sing some of my favorite songs.
That's great.
Yeah.
And is there another gig that you wanted to talk about, or does that cover that?
Those were the big ones coming up, and if you want to check out what we're doing, you go to GaryBackstrom.com. That's the website. It has links to videos and things. And then if you go to the Gary Backstrom Band Facebook page also, and just hit like if you like it, and we'll keep you informed of when we're playing. But if you are a Todd Rundgren fan, or if you're a fan of my group at all, please come to the Regent Theater on the 7th of of June. It's going to be a very spectacular, fun evening. Love to have a lot of you out.
Now, do you still teach private guitar lessons too?
Yes.
So are you still accepting new students if you have
Yeah.
people?
Yep. And my number and email are right on the website if anyone ever wanted to get a hold of me. I teach singing, songwriting, guitar, um, beginner piano, and bass. Um, and I also teach at a school, but that's, you know, not really public information.
Mm.
Yeah.
And in terms of just songwriting, are you still looking for new collaborators in terms of just like writers and other musicians, or do you kind of have an established network that you're kind of sticking with for now?
Oh, it's a really good question. I have to admit, I tend to be a little bit of a loner when it comes to writing. Sometimes if I get stuck, I'll grab a friend that I know writes and say,
Mm,
I'm stuck here. Can you help?
mm,
It is one of those really personal things. Uh, Sometimes in certain bands I've been in, I would have a song that was halfway written and I would bring the song in and it would end up nowhere near where I wanted it to go. And
mhm.
I had that experience way too many times. So I tend not to put things out there until they're pretty much done. Um, it just the way that it feels better for me
Mm.
to do. Not that I'm opposed to working with other people. I just feel like I need to have time to privately work on um, songs that I'm writing. I do like to collaborate, just as not as my main thing. It is fun because you get
Mm.
ideas that again you're playing with other people. Just like when you go to record, you come up with ideas with other people you never would. So I'm
So
definitely
it sounds like in terms of just the songwriting and recording process, the part that you're more interested in collaborating on is the recording.
yeah, and the arranging. Like I love to have the
Uh,
band help me arrange. So when the song's done, I'll make a demo and send it out, and I'll say, okay, here's the rough idea, but you're the drummer. Make this drum part real, and you're the bass player. Do your thing, and the harmony vocalist. What could be better here? And that I love. I also love to write though for a band. So in Jiggle, I would write for that band. Like I knew who did what well and what would sound good. And so for the new band, I've been thinking a lot lately for new songs. What would feature the harmony singers? What would feature the horn? What would feature the percussion? Where can we do little breaks where the bass is featured, not like a solo, but a written part? And so tailoring songs around what I know the band would bring alive, and then letting them help come up with those parts. So that's a way you can share songwriting in an arrangement kind of way, if that makes any sense.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're going to wrap things up here in a minute. So you want to just tell everybody where they can, where your main website is, just so that we make sure that everybody can check
Yes.
out your music and buy your music. And you have
Yes.
merchandise there too that they can buy, or you
We
make.
will have CDs. Oh, yeah, we're working on it. My band is trying to finish. We've been trying to finish the CD for a while. There's so many players that it's getting everybody in has been interesting. We have almost 3 out of the 11 songs done, and we're trying to finish those 3. Those will be on Spotify. Have them on CD Baby. We'll have a download card. For now, just go to GaryBackstrom.com or Gary Backstrom Band on Facebook and like us. Just join up on our page. And as those songs are finished, maybe over the summer they'll be mixed and mastered. We'll let you know how to get them. We'll send out some sneak previews.
Do you ever have like some super fans that volunteer to help with promotion?
Yeah, I do. I have my friend Karen. She does all my Instagram stuff and helps me do my Facebook posting. She's been fantastic and a very huge help. And another friend named Adam. Signor, who is helping with Facebook promotions, and going to do a little thing on his internet radio show, I think, in a week. So yeah, the more help, the better with that stuff. That's where you need all the help you can get.
Great. So then they can contact you there, and maybe you could have like a street team or an informal street team, something to
Yes, if
help with that too.
people would like this music, and also sometimes people don't know. Oh, geez, Jiggle the Handle broke up, so they think, oh, no one's doing anything. But that's not true. So if you were a fan of Jiggle the Handle and you're finding me somehow, like, and oh, Gary still plays, if anyone wants to be part of our team, please contact me. All of our contact info is at the GaryBackstrom.com site and the Facebook page as well. So yes, always taking on collaborative help in that regard.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here today. And again, this is Gary Backstrom that I've been interviewing today, and this is the second episode of Music Made Real. And my name is Evan Shapiro. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Evan. Talk to you soon.